Okay, now to give you an example of how it will look like in the actual exam. For example, if you're looking at Hitler, right? The question here is, why was this sauce produced? Why was this sauce produced? Let me write it down. So bear in mind, whenever you see the word why, it means this is indeed a purpose question. Right, next purpose question is very important to look at the provenance. So we will check the provenance now. This is the caption. Caption must definitely be written down. Then we'll move on further. Who is the author? Author, definitely you must highlight who is the author, which will help you to find out who is the audience. Then after that, I need to highlight the date as well, 1932. This will give me the context. It will help me to write the context. And of course, in 1932, in Germany, what was happening in that time? It was actually elections, right? National elections to be elected into the Reichstag. Okay? So that's what's happening in 1932. All these should be picked out in the first line, the providence line. Then you look at the picture. Now, whenever you see picture, again, bear in mind, all the words are, all the caption must be written down, okay? So you have Hitler here, and this caption here actually just means our last hope, Hitler. Take note of the people here. Who are they? They're regular Germans. And how do they look like? What is their expressions? They look sad. They look depressed, right? They look weak. So with a very face of desperation, right? Desperation. So all these keywords should be annotated inside your source. It will help you in your message. It will also help you in your explanation. Now let's take a look at the answer. Obviously, this is a picture by the Nazi Party, so it's meant to convince the Germans, right? To convince the Germans. Bear in mind again your BAM. Let me see if I can refresh this thing. Yeah, bear in mind your BAM again. Right, you must write your BAM. First line. So your first line should have BAM, BAAM. Now let's look at the first line over here. The poster was published because. There's my because. BAM. Nazi Party is my author. Wanted to convince is my action verb. Okay, let's move on to full screen here. Convince is my action verb and Germans is my audience. So my BAM is written down fully. Okay, take note. These basic expectations has to be met. Next is my message. Again, message is the reason. Is the reason or strong opinion about the issue. In this case, the issue is about strengthening Germany. Is the issue, right? And the strong opinion here is, of course, that the Nazis are the only capable party that can help strengthen Germany. So the author has a direct opinion here, and that is the Nazi parties are the only one who can help strengthen Germany or bring the country out of economic crisis. Or you can also say bring Germany out of economic crisis. Okay, take note. This is not an action. This is not action of the audience. It's actually the reason. All right. Next, the reason is in the strong opinion. All right. Next, you have your evidence. Again, this is seen in the poster. Okay, write everything down you see in the poster. Germany looking weak. Our last hope, Hitler. Then explanation. Again, bear in mind your criteria for explanation in your own words. In your own words, in your own words, clear and extended. Okay, extended of the evidence. So this means that they were facing severe economic problems, right? The Germans were facing severe economic problems, right? Affecting the livelihood of the Germans, and Hitler was the only one who could bring them out of poverty into a better life. Take note, all these things are not lifted from, not our last hope, not lifted from the source at all. They are in my own words. It's my interpretation. It's actually my interpretation of the picture, right? Why are they weak? Why are they so depressed? It's just to imply that the Weimar government has put them in a state of desperation, and Hitler is the only one that can help to improve their livelihoods and improve the economic situation that they face. Right? The only one that can bring them out of poverty, the only one that can bring them a better life. This is my then what? Right? So what if the picture shows me this? Again, when I explain, you must say so what, right? So what's the implication? How does this link to the Nazis being the only capable party? Well, it's because it clearly shows from this picture that the Weimar government not doing a good job and the Nazi party are the only one that can help bring Germany out of poverty, right? Out of poverty and to a better life. So my explanation here is clear about the picture. Next will be my context. Context is here. Thus, as the Nazi Party was going through the elections, right? So next, clearly written my context here. So because of the election, the action will be naturally to encourage Germans to support and vote for Hitler in the upcoming election. Quite straightforward, right? So I got this from 1932. 1932 elections is happening. Thus, the author, in saying this message that the Germans are the only Nazis are the only capable party to strengthen Germany, it can lead to the action, right? It will lead to the action of encouraging Germans to actually support and vote for Hitler. So I have written all my criteria down. All right. So again, let me list down one more time. My first line is here, right? First line is until here is my BAM. Okay, is a BAM written down? Yes. Next line is my evidence. This is seen in the poster. All the words, all the expressions, all the characters, all written down. Evidence is clear. Okay, and relevant as well. Then explanation in my own words, clear and a pure extension of the evidence is here. So explanation is here. Next is my CO, context. So what's context? 1932 elections were happening. Context. Finally, my outcome. So what if the elections are coming? So therefore, the author made this in hopes of encouraging Germans to support and vote for Hitler in the upcoming elections. Here is my outcome or action. Alright, and I have successfully fulfilled all the criteria. I can get the maximum marks for this question.